I'm going to show you the single best team to be using in Phase 1 of Rise of the Empire for the light side missions. People keep on telling me that Rey is a terrible GL to use in this phase, and they are just wrong. This team will go 2 out of 2, no problems, no units lost, kind of. And this is the team comp that I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. I know you take a look at it and think, my days, that's an odd combination of units. Who thought that Rey with Rey and Captain Han Solo and Visas Mar and Shaak Ti would work together so well? But it turns out that they all do, and the real secret comes down to our girl Rey and her leadership. I'm sure many of you have seen this and know exactly what I'm talking about, but Rey's leadership essentially passes stacking mastery to all your allies whenever the enemy gains turn meter. Stacking mastery is a very useful stat because obviously it helps you survive hits, it helps you, hit harder, it helps give you more health, more offense, all this beautiful business. But every character has a different mastery stat. I'm sure many of you are aware. If you check a character's stats and go to the mastery tab, it'll come up with a list of stats that are improved by their mastery. You can see Rey over here has crit chance, crit damage, and damage. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Scribble, nobody really cares how hard you hit in this light side GOTB, and you would be right. It's true. You don't really care how hard you hit. But that's why we have very peculiar allies going with us. Now, Rey Jedi Training, apart from being a very useful tank and a good unit in general, her mastery is deflection chance, dodge, health and protection. Health and protection is all very well and good. We'll be able to survive just a little bit further. But deflection and dodge chance? Well, we've already seen this latest Datacron set go poof. How many people really found it irritating when the enemy had 100% dodge chance or 100% deflection chance? Well, every time the enemy is gaining turn meter, we are increasing this deflection chance, this dodge chance by 5%. If we take a look at our boy Captain Han Solo over here, he also has deflection chance and dodge chance. When we take a look at Visas Mar, she also has deflection chance and dodge chance. And when we take a look at our girl, Shaak Ti, you guessed it, she has got deflection chance and dodge chance. So all of our allies over here can all increase their dodge and deflection. Keep in mind, the higher your base mastery is, the faster you will ramp up the evasion chance on your character. So the quicker you'll basically become unhittable. The only way to really gain base mastery is by having additional relic levels. However, even at a base of relic 5, it's still very easy to get to a point where you just can't be hit. That's fantastic. That's super useful because if you can't touch me, you can't hurt me. And none of the enemies have got unavoidable attacks in P1, which is fantastic. More importantly, 2 of our characters here, Captain Han Solo, who would otherwise be a trash tier unit, has got Search and Rescue, Revive a random ally at 1% health and 0% turn meter. If it's a rebel, they recover 50% hit points and gain 50 turn meter. We've got a revive there. And in Visas Mar, Dark Healing. Deal physical damage to all enemies, gain health steal up and for 1 turn and recover health equal to 35% of Visas Mar health. If she's at full health after using this ability, revive a random defeated ally at 50% health. We've got 2 sources of revives on characters that are going to be stacking their evasion chance. So the only person that can realistically be killed in this is our GL Rey, which is obviously not ideal. But we have 2 sources of revives, whilst these guys, so long as they are inspired and the enemy is gaining turn meter, are going to permanently stack their evasion chance to the point where they cannot be hit. Let's pair that with the actual modifier for Phase 1 on light side. Let's go take a look. Total Obedience is the name of the game here. If the allied leader would be defeated, a random clone trooper ally is defeated instead. And the allied leader gains 100% health and turn meter. You're like, okay, sure. So if we kill or we try to kill the enemy leader, he's going to gain all his health back and go gain 100% turn meter. That's not really enough for us to try and stack our mastery quick enough so that the enemy can't hit us. However, whenever a clone trooper ally takes damage, all clone trooper allies gain protection up 10% for 2 turns. Whenever the allied leader takes damage, all clone troopers gain 12% turn meter. Now, it says all allied clone troopers. I'm assuming that doesn't apply to the leader, but maybe it does. Essentially, every time we hit the leader, the entire enemy team is gaining 12% turn meter. So that's going to be at least 4 instances of additional turn meter gained. Every single instance of that is going to be 5% additional stacking mastery. So essentially it's going to be 20% additional stacking mastery. That is going to be multiplicative in its benefit. So each time it happens, it's going to get better and better and better, and increasing our dodge chance. And you're thinking, how long does it take for us to become essentially unhittable? Not too long. Let's take a look at some of this footage. Okay, so we start the phase over here, and all we really need to do is just lifeblood constantly on one of our allies. I recommend you actually put the lifeblood on Rey. You can use Shakti to get rid of the taunt at the start, but that AoE at the start has already started stacking on mastery. Now bear in mind, we need GL Rey to spread the inspiration before we actually start gaining the mastery, so GL Rey needs to be fast, ideally speaking. But you can already see dodges are already starting to happen for GL Rey, well, for JTR. When you get the opportunity, don't play it like I am here. Every single opportunity you get, either use the event special Democracy or attack the clone leader ally. That means the entire enemy team is going to be gaining TM, which is going to be stacking our mastery. So far, we've got JTR with inspiration and we've got GL Rey, which is great and everything, but really you want to try and get round to everybody with inspiration. We've now got it on Shakti as well, which is still good. Obviously, the higher your actual mastery is, ladies and gentlemen, the faster you will become unhittable. Use Shakti to get rid of the taunt, and really you just need to be going for the clone trooper leader. I'm not doing it right now because I'm a very silly sausage, but as soon as we start hitting them, we're going to be stacking that mastery. So just keep an eye on all the dodges. Now bear in mind, Visas Mara is only Relic 5 compared to Han Solo, well, everybody else being Relic 7. Every time we hit that leader, we're going to be gaining that turn meter. Yes, they might be hurting us for now, but we've got 2 sources of revives, and every time we hit that leader, they've got less and less chance of landing those hits. Look at JTR go. Dodging, dodging, dodging. Let's keep it going. I actually recommend don't try and rush your way through this. Simply take the time to stack that mastery as fast as possible. Get as much of that lifeblood on your team as you can, because that lifeblood will actually follow over into the next phase, whereas your mastery gains are going to actually reset. So again, you really want to be hitting the allied leader. I'm not playing it very well here, but it's happening. We've already hit the thunderous applause, so every time we use an ability now, we're going to assist. That mass assist has just got 4 people to pass 3 lots of TM boosts. So what is that? 4 times 3, that's 12 stacks. 12 times 5, what is that? 60%? 60% stacking mastery from that one thing. Another 60% stacking mastery. And they revived a unit, which is actually good because there's more enemy units. Just look at JTR. Dodge, dodge, dodge. Come on. Stop trying to hit me, guys. Let's go. Keep on gaining that TM. Keep on gaining that TM. Yep. Okay. Good. Good. Enemies are dying. That's all fine. Can't hit my Shakti right now. More bonus TM for the enemy team. More bonus TM. Dodge. They can hit Rey, but it doesn't matter. And the funny thing that comes out of this is eventually they will stack 3 lots of Democracy on our Rey, and she will then actually be insta-killed. And that's okay, because we'll just revive her immediately, which is nice. So I do recommend try and get your Rey back up to max health with a Whirlwind off cooldown, whilst also stacking as much lifeblood on your entire team as possible. But as you can see, they can't actually touch us right now. They can't do it. Our Rey just died, but check it out. Look, 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 look. Bloop. And she's back. It's just so simple, so straightforward, and so very effective. They can't touch us at all in this first phase. And the second phase, yes, we are going to reset our cooldowns and everything, so we won't be able to... reset our mastery, so we won't be able to go straight into the next phase, unable to be hit, but it is actually incredibly quick and easy to get to. As we'll see, we'll go into the next phase now. Here we go. So, final encounter, and it is exactly the same setup. Yes, they've got 2 revives, but honestly, it's not a big deal. We already, thankfully, go into the next phase with everybody with all their inspiration stacks ready. So every single time these guys are gaining TM, we are automatically going to be gaining our stacking mastery. So again, I'm not quite playing this right. Even though we're getting lots of dodges there, that was more fortunate rather than more than anything. What I should be doing is cleansing off that taunt and just hitting the allied leader again. I went into ultimate stance here because the start of the battle is when you are at your most vulnerable, essentially. That's when we don't have all the dodge. But as you see, Rey is already, JTR over there, she's already dodging a bunch of attacks. The event special over there, I believe, counts as an attack. so it will actually pass TM, which is lovely. But ultimately, they just can't do anything to us. And even if we lose a unit, just save your 2 revives and you'll be absolutely fine. Doesn't matter if we get dazed, because we don't care. Eventually, Rey is going to be stacking so much physical offense and crit damage that she will essentially just one-tap anybody that we want. Look at that. Dodge, dodge, dodge. I think they've barely even touched us in this second wave. It's been so quick and easy. Captain Hand dodging, Rey dodging. It's like, I can go into ultimate. Sure, let's do it again. We don't really care about the damage that we're dealing. They can't hurt us. Only our GL Rey can actually take any damage here. So yeah, it's very, very quick and easy, guys. I just found this one fun because the positive benefit of using this team is that realistically, you don't have to waste any top tier units. There's no stress. There's no way you lose this match. You don't have to worry about, thinking, where am I going to use Captain Han? If you've got him Relic 5, if you've got him Relic 5, you can automatically use him. Mine's at Relic 7 from being a silly sausage many, many moons ago. But hey, I'm making use of a bad investment. You know what I mean? Shaq T, yes, she is useful in, say, a JMK team or even a JML team, but those 2 GLs I find have got very, very effective teams anyway. They don't necessarily need it. Visas can go in a Starkiller team, but again, she's not necessary for Starkiller to actually work effectively. And you don't have to use her. There are other characters in the game that have got dodge in their mastery that you could also use. As you can see though, they don't actually get to do anything, and we can just shred through them without issue. This guy is just hanging on for dear life, but ultimately doesn't really stand much of a chance. GG, easy. I've got a couple of other teams that I do like to use, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to do some videos on them in the near future because Rise of the Empire is very important, current meta content, and I think everybody needs to start thinking about these oddball teams that we can use after we've platooned some of our more important units. If you're looking for future tips and tricks to do with completing Rise of the Empire TB, stick with your boy Scribble and he will not steer you wrong. Have a great, great week, everybody, and I'll see you very soon.